Today's top news headlines. Minor son kills father at Imphal East, Yaripok. Manipur reports 404 coronavirus new cases, 3 deaths. An election commission meets to decide if ban on physical rallies should continue. Hello, this is Bonnet TV giving you the latest English bulletin at 7. I'm LAKSMIBAI. Now the news in detail. A 48-year-old man was allegedly killed by his own son following a quarrel at Yaripok Changamdabi Sagol Low Ground under Andhra Police Station in Imphal East. According to our correspondent, the incident took place around 3:30 p.m. yesterday. The accused son is said to be a minor. Muhammad Kulakpam Jakir, resident of Yaripok Changamdabi Mathak Laikai, was clubbed to death by his son following a family feud. Sources said the deceased had frequent quarrel with his family members. It is reported that on Friday morning, Jakir chased his minor son, telling him that he should leave home. He was also holding a knife while chasing his son. Later in the afternoon, both had a fight during which the son ran out of the house. He then picked up a club from a neighboring house and attacked his father, killing him on the spot. The family and the locals did not lodge any complaint over the incident with the police, sources said. A team of Andhra Police Station has taken up a suo motu case over the incident and sent the body to Janims, Imphal, for post-mortem, following which the body was handed over to the family. Manipur in the past 24 hours reported 404 coronavirus new cases and 3 deaths. As per the Manipur COVID-19 Command Control Room, the positivity rate was recorded at 18.1%. The state's COVID tally has spiked to 129,661, while the death increased to 2,022. The state COVID-19 Command Control Room in a release also said the new cases were detected after testing 2,230 samples in the past 24 hours. 82 persons were discharged, the control room said. The Election Commission is holding a series of virtual meets on Saturday to decide whether the ban imposed by it on physical rallies and road shows to prevent the spread of coronavirus should continue. Announcing dates for elections in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa, Punjab and Manipur on January 8, the poll panel had announced a ban on physical rallies, road and bike shows and similar campaigning events till January 15. On January 15, the Commission extended the ban until January 22. It had, however, granted a relaxation for political parties to hold indoor meetings of maximum 300 people or 50% of the capacity of the hall. The poll panel is holding the virtual meets to seek inputs from the Union Health Ministry experts, the 5 poll-bound states and respective states' chief electoral officers to arrive at a decision, official sources said. India added 3,37,704 new coronavirus infections, taking the total tally of COVID-19 cases to 3,89,03,731, which includes 10,050 cases of the Omicron variant, according to the Union Health Ministry data updated on Saturday. The active cases have increased to 21,13,365, the highest in 237 days, while the death toll had climbed to 4,88,884, with 488 fresh fatalities, the data updated at 8 a.m. stated. There has been a 3.69% increase in Omicron cases since Friday, the ministry said. The active cases comprise 5.43% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate has decreased to 93.31%, the ministry said. The daily positivity rate was recorded at 17.22%, while the weekly positivity rate was recorded at 16.65%. The data stated that 71.34 crore tests have been conducted so far, and 19,60,954 tests were conducted in the last 24 hours. So far, 161.16 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered, it said. India's COVID-19 tally had crossed the 20 lakh mark on August 7, 2020, 30 lakh on August 23, 40 lakh on September 5, and 50 lakh on September 16. It went past 60 lakh on September 28, 70 lakh on October 11, crossed 80 lakh on October 29, 90 lakh on November 20, and surpassed the 1 crore mark on December 19, 2020. India crossed 2 crore cases on May 4 and 3 crore cases on June 23 last year. Transporters staged a protest in front of Malom Oil Depot in Imphal following last night's Kangpokpi incident wherein drivers were trashed and damaged vehicles by Bund supporters. As many as 59 oil tankers and LPG gas bullet tank trucks were reportedly damaged during the violence. During the demonstration, Pukrambam John, a driver, alleged that security forces who were escorting the transporters did nothing to stop the violence. They remained silent when drivers were being beaten up by the Bund supporters, he said. Besides, 2 cops assaulted a driver for choosing a wrong parking site amid the violent incident, he added. The government should pay compensation to the injured drivers and damaged vehicles, he demanded. He also announced that transporters will stop service until appropriate action is initiated against 2 police personnel who were involved in assaulting a driver. The protesters held several placards condemning Kangpokpi incident. With the number of COVID-19 positive cases increased in the border town of More in the past few days, Tecnopal District Administration, in collaboration with the District Medical Department under Tecnopal Chief Medical Officer, CMO Dr. K.H. Gozen, conducted a mass COVID testing drive on Saturday in different parts of More. Many doctors and medical staff of More's Hospital, More Police Additional SP Law and Order Surkumar, and officer in charge Anand also took part in the drive. Around 333 shopkeepers and greengrocers of More Gate 2 and More Market got rapid antigen test RAT, during which 10 people, including 5 Myanmar nationalists, tested positive for COVID-19. Speaking to the media, Tecnopal CMO Dr. K.H. Gozen said Tecnopal District have added over 20 cases in the COVID third wave. More being a business hub for many people, the number of COVID cases continues to surge, he said. If cases continue to increase, the authorities may put a halt to the trade activities of Indo-Myanmar border, Dr. K.H. Gozen said, and appealed to all to follow COVID protocols. #16 Foundation Day of United Club Organization was celebrated on Saturday at Kurai Ningthaubung Community Hall in Imphal East. IEDUCO President Dwijo Takelambam, Palem President Khaidem Punimasi Leima, Kampal President Lashram Ramabati Leima, former IEDUCO Presidents L. Lemba Meitei and Ningthozam Siam Sundar Meitei, and all Manipur United Clubs Organization Amuko President Nando Luwang attended the function. On the sidelines of the event, Nando Luwang stressed on the importance of the role played by local clubs and Merapabi bodies in the state. These social organizations need to work sincerely. They should not take side in handling problems under any circumstances, he said, adding that impartiality should always be maintained in dealing with local issues.
Aikoi local club sing si yamna mating leina yamna neutral body ama waina aikoi thabak toba natragadi ngasi oireiba khudong thiba phibam kaya se akoi thengna bangamoi maruina jane election maya naklakpa matam asida akoi tongan ba crime kaya ama tholakpa asida local club singna chap chaba maya de lepaga mating phudoga adumba crime sing adu thengnaba honagadabani natragadi senjau paiba candidate kaya na amadi makhoigi kai helaba worker kaya na sum tawning ba tobada aikoi khunai asida pamdab tok kaya thoktana aikoi misi mina kaya yawbagi thok kaya ama leplaitina tholakani maramduna local club singna maira paibi singna magi lekai da kariguma makhal amatagi pamdaba thok irang thoktanaba maruina hojik election maya or posida election ga mai lene thoi birang sing thoktanaba gidamakta cheksin tawrang lokatpa matam oire.
Now we have a short break. Keep watching.
Karigumba dom yumda laiba anaba singi hida kappa dressing tauba blood sample loba rice tube hapa catheterization hapa enema tawinaba experience lairaba Kung mari chukna adom yumda latuna hida kappa injection piba dressing tauba feeding tube hapa catheter hapa amadi makhal kya ge anaba sing experience lairaba doctor amadi nursing laktuna mating pangzari Akupa Marol Gidamak Medellin gi helpline number 920-598-7988 Amukasu 920-598-7988 ta call tawuna tanabiu natraga Google Play Store gi Medellin app download tawuna booking tawi
Welcome. After the break, you're watching Pone TV English News at 7. Moirang police foiled a rally organized by Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad (ABVP) at Moirang on Saturday. ABVP was planning to take out the rally from Moirang Multipurpose Higher Secondary School campus to INA headquarters to mark the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. A team of Moirang police arrived at the venue and stopped the rally, saying the organizers should produce official permission for the rally. ABVP was planning the rally without permission and hence it was immediately cancelled. None Battalion of Assam Rifles under the aegis of Headquarters 22 Sector Assam Rifles and Inspector General of Assam Rifles East organized a medical camp at Koken village on Saturday under Operation Sadbhavana project for the financial year 2021 to 2022. Keeping in mind the problems faced by the remote villages due to common morbidities of winter season affecting local populace and COVID-19 pandemic, that too in absence of proper medical facilities and dedicated hospital, None Battalion organized the medical camp under Operation Sadbhavana at village Koken. Under the project, medical check-up was carried out and medicines were distributed to the villages of Koken and surrounding areas following prescriptions of surgeon, pediatrician and psychiatrist who were physically present in the camp to provide medical comfort to the needy villagers. The doctors were made available to common villagers by collaborative efforts of None Battalion. Chief Medical Officer and Regimental Medical Officer of Battalion were also present for treatment of villagers and for better coordination of all activities on ground. The medical camp commenced with an informative lecture where locals were enlightened on basic healthcare issues including precautions against viral diseases and COVID-appropriate behavior as well as importance of hygiene and sanitation for maintaining a healthy lifestyle. A total civilian 172 civilians, 51 males, 63 females and 58 children were given treatment and were distributed free medicines. The campaign also emphasized on dissemination of information on various guidelines issued by the healthcare authorities, along with ongoing vaccination drive. All COVID-19 precautionary measures were followed during the medical camp. Masks and sanitizers were also distributed to the villages. The Election Commission (EC) has allowed the cadres of the pro-talk rebel outfits of Manipur who are currently residing at various designated camps to vote in the forthcoming Manipur Assembly elections. The poll panel on Friday notified that members of Manipur insurgent groups that signed ceasefire agreements with the government and whose names are listed in the electoral rolls are entitled to vote by postal ballot. The two first Manipur Assembly election will begin on February 27. Over 20 Kuki militant groups operating in Manipur under two conglomerate groups, United People's Front (UPF) and Kuki National Organization (KNO), had signed a tripartite suspension of Operation SOO agreement with the state government and the center in 2008. Cadres belonging to these insurgent groups are currently residing at designated camps set up by the government in different Kuki-dominated areas in Manipur. The Election Commission has taken the decision in exercise of powers conferred by Clause C of Section 60 of the Representation of the People Act 1951 and in consultation with the central government, said the Chief Electoral Officer (CEO) of Manipur in a statement. According to the statement, the decision was made considering that a number of persons belonging to the SOO and MOU groups living in the 14 designated camps in Manipur have been enrolled in the electoral rolls of various assembly constituencies of the state. As such, the Election Commission has directed that these electors shall be allowed to vote by postal ballot, taking into account the right of franchise of such electors as they cannot move out of the said designated camps, the statement said. Efforts will be made to see that voters are not required to travel more than the prescribed limit to cast their vote, and hence the center's location will be finalized as required, it said. The United Naga Council (UNC) in its Emergency Presidential Council meeting held on January 19, 2022 at the Hanjan Senapati District headquarters took a decision that the Naga people will not participate in the ensuing Indian Republic Day celebration on January 26, 2022 in all Naga areas in the present state of Manipur as a part of the non-cooperation movement towards the government of India. Therefore, a clarion call is given out by the UNC to all Nagas across borders to come forward and stand together to the end to defend our inalienable rights to live as a dignified people. The UNC said that its measure is to demonstrate a strong displeasure to the government of India for various reasons. The UNC statement, which was made available to New My News Network, said that the Emergency Presidential Council meeting also resolved to declare that the Naga Akbar Haidari Accord 9-point agreement signed on June 28, 1947 was unilaterally abrogated by the government of India on the ground that if it is a commitment of a bygone era. The UNC Emergency Presidential Council meeting also resolved to declare that it was the government of India that forcibly created Nagaland state in 1960 without the consent of the Naga people and the Naga National Council (NNC). The meeting further resolved to declare that it was the government of India that put the newly created Nagaland state under President's rule and co-urged a section of the NNC leaders to sign the Shillong Accord on November 11, 1975 at Shillong without the consent of the Naga people. While the talks were going on in the third neutral country outside India, it was the government of India that invited the NSCN leaders to New Delhi in 2005 to expedite the Indo-Naga political settlement. But the talks still make no headway, the UNC alleged. A huge cache of arms and ammunition hidden underground were recovered in the southwest Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya today by the police and the Border Security Forces (BSF). Acting on a tip-off, a joint search operation was launched by the BSF and the Meghalaya police. The cache of arms and ammunition was found wrapped in a yellow plastic bag which contained a 0.38 USA made revolver, 02 magazines, 410 live rounds, and 35 EFC, the BSF said in a statement. The surrounding area was also searched thoroughly using a metal detector, but nothing more could be found. In the past also, hidden arms and ammunition have been recovered by BSF, which were probably used by insurgent groups for extortion purposes and other illegal activities. But it is still not known whom this cash belongs to. The BSF also said, the place of occurrence is located around 1 kilometer inside India from the international border with Bangladesh and 1.5 kilometer from BSF BOB Borsora of 193 BN BSF. An FIR has been lodged in this regard, and the recovered arms and ammunition were handed over to Borsora police station for further disposal. The PRO of BSF Meghalaya assured to use BSF intelligence extensively to find more such caches of arms, which are often used by miscreants to materialize their nefarious designs. Holders India thrashed Minnows Malaysia 9-0 to start their title defense on an emphatic note at the Women's Asia Cup hockey tournament at Muscat on Friday. The Indians scored 4 goals apiece in the first 2 quarters before returning back to pump in 5 more in the last 2 quarters. With 4 World Cup spots at stake from this tournament, India started a bit slowly but got their grip as the match progressed. It didn't take India too long to take the lead through Vandana Kataria, who trapped in an open goal after being set up by fine 1-2 between Navneet Kaur and Sarmila Devi. The Indians stepped up the pressure and secured their first penalty corner soon, but it went wasted. The Indians kept up the pressure on the Malaysian defense and earned 2 penalty corners in quick time, the second of which was brilliantly converted by Dib Kures Eka. Navneet Kaur then scored with a first reverse hit from top of the circle to hand India a commanding 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. Before we end, let's take a look at the top news headlines again. Minor son kills father at Imphal East Yaribok. Manipur reports 404 coronavirus new cases, 3 deaths. And Election Commission meets to decide if ban on physical rallies should continue. Thank you for watching Pony TV. For more updates, keep watching Pony TV and stay tuned.